What's your score?
No idea. happening, brother? How you doing? Oh, you don't know who Gretta Thunberg is? Bless your heart. Just a quick little recap. Greta Thunberg is the little 16-year-old girl that just spoke to the United Nations not that long ago, like 2 or 3 days ago. Now, she's 16-year-old, right? So, of course, social media is in a frenzy over this, okay? Because 16-year-old girl, right, over here, political activist, right, can't talk shit about the 16-year-old girl because she's a 16-year-old girl, okay? In my humble opinion, I'm sorry, but you can't be a fucking activist and non-criticize at the same time. You can't be an uncriticizable activist. People need to be able to challenge your ideas. And you know what? It's fucking sick, dude. Hitler did the same damn thing to the youth. Hitler's youth back in the day. She was basically blaming the leaders that were in some kind of economic crisis. Or not economic, sorry. I'm stupid. Not economic. Environmental crisis. I'm stupid, sorry about that. Environmental crisis. We're in the middle of an environmental crisis. Ecosystems are collapsing. You know, all kinds of species are becoming endangered. People are dying. Blah, 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 blah. She's going on and on about this. And she's saying, you know, how dare, right? This is what she was saying. How dare that the leaders of our generation come to her generation seeking hope and all this other shit. Climate change is climate change. Climate is always going to change.
Does your battery deliver
extra life?
To be honest with you,
climate has been changing long before humans was ever part of the equation. And if you really want to get scientific, not only, right, check it out, not only is the Earth heating up, but so is in Mars. Mars is heating up as well. And there's no humans on Mars today. So is it really greenhouse gas
Thanks
effects?
for watching.
Or is
Click
the
here for
entire
more
galaxy
information.
just heating
Now,
up?
enjoy the next 30 minutes of
period?
ad-free music.
You know, you look back in history through the 1700s, the Delaware. The Delaware was frozen in the 1700s. When in our lifetime has it ever been frozen? These things happen. Solar maximum, solar minimum. There's a lot of things that are going on. And the Earth has survived way worse than us. Way worse than us. The magnetic shift of the poles, the magnetic reversal, crust displacement, solar flares. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean it to be trippy. I'm here to play guitar. The fucking, the title is just to trigger people to come in here. You know what I mean? But anyway, just to finish this point up because it's funny. The Earth has been through way worse than humans. Tectonic shifts, platonic shifts, the reversal of the magnetic poles, you know, sunspots, you name it. I mean, bro. And we think that going into the ocean and the beaches, cleaning up some plastic bags and aluminum cans is gonna make a fucking difference? I mean, come on, dude. Now, I totally understand that it looks pretty ignorant from on the outside looking in. You know, why is this asshole criticizing this 16-year-old girl? When you say it like that, it sounds pretty bad, okay? My opinion, when you enter the political realm of the arena, we'll call it the arena. When you enter the political arena, then yeah, you're fair game. Plus, Greta Thunberg is a fucking what do you call it? Public figure. She doesn't have the right to say who or who doesn't criticize her. Once you step into the public figure domain, your rights on who says what about you are gone. Look it up if you don't believe me. People, like, if you're a public figure on Twitter and shit like that, or like Donald Trump, for example, or Alexandria Cortez, they can't block people on Twitter because they're public figures. And Greta Thunberg is a public figure. Same thing with David Hogg. But you know what, though? What's really interesting? Mini AOC, an 8-year-old girl who has been blocked off Twitter because of death threats to her account. No one talks about that. Oh, goodness gracious, if you criticize poor Greta Thunberg, oh, well then, you're a bad man, and you're a bigot. Oh, it's just not fucking fair, okay? Don't get it twisted, okay? She didn't end up on a podium in front of the United Nations by happenstance. Adults put her there. Adults wrote her script. Adults are pulling the strings to the 16-year-old girl. Don't get that shit twisted for a second. And the political activists, the climate activists, are the ones pulling those strings. Trust and believe. And I got pictures for days. I got pictures all over my phone that incriminate this little girl. No fucking problem. No problem. Pictures. I got evidence. You know I don't talk shit without a little bit, at least. If you're new to my channel, then let me tell you, I don't talk shit without evidence, okay? And if you're not new to my channel, then you already knew I had pictures on my phone, ready to show anybody on here that's willing to come in here and challenge me. It's not a problem. I got a picture of Greta with Hezbollah, one of the ISIS leaders, Hezbollah. I have a picture of Greta in an Antifa shirt. I also have a picture of young Greta with an old George Soros. Oh, and hey, beers all around, my friend Jelly Jungle. I also have a picture of the environment in which it was left by the so-called environmentalists. Nah, you ain't new at all. That's why I was like, where you been at, Trippy? Where you been at? You know what I'm saying? So, one of the most important things about this, okay, guys? I get that I sound like an ignorant asshole. I get that. Don't get it twisted. I'm all about saving the world. I want to save the world. I want to save the goddamn planet. I don't think trash in the ocean is cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also not going to be misguided by a bunch of corrupt politicians thinking that cleaning up the fucking aluminum cans. Not to mention, it's not like China, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Japan. All of these people that manufacture more goods in America and produce more greenhouse gases in America. I don't see Greta Thunberg telling them to stop manufacturing your goods in a certain manner that is creating greenhouse gas effects. The only people I see being lectured are Western civilized people. Yeah, me too, man. Both sides is very important. I totally get that I'm ignorant, and I totally understand that I'm biased in my opinion. But I still love to listen to the other side. I know you hate Trump. No. Trust me, I got my problems with Trump too, but I did vote for him. And depending upon how things go, I'm probably going to vote for the man again. But I certainly got my fucking problems with him. We can talk about it. I love to talk. I can talk about it. 5G. Try and see this good. Cheers to you, Trippy. Environmentalism is a scam, Trippy. That's just my opinion. There's a lot of data that supports my opinion, and if given enough time on the timeline, if you come back in like a week or so, like if I say, all right, Trippy, give me a minute, I'm gonna get all these facts together for you, and then we'll sit down and have a conversation, and I'll show you how environmentalism is a scam. I mean, just sitting here talking to you back and forth. I could spell some facts. You could Google them. You know, obviously we've been talking about the end of the world. No, I do care. I care. You know why I care? You know why I care? It's because environmentalism is brought to you on the backs of blue-collar workers. Alright? The people that lobby and tell us, right? Regular people, regular taxpayers, the people that lobby and tell regular taxpayers that we're burning too much greenhouse gases, it's not like they practice what they preach. They don't. I have pictures upon pictures in my phone of Beto O'Rourke, of Joe Biden, of Alexandria Cortez, of Ilhan Omar. Pictures and pictures of them just porking down meat as they tell you not to eat meat products because it's bad for the environment. I'm just trying to tell you, environmentalism is a scam. Okay? There was a movie called Deadly Grounds with Steven Seagal. It was one of the coolest movies I've ever seen, right? At the end of the movie, Steven Seagal, he was talking about... Because it actually goes right along with what I'm talking about right now. End speech in Deadly Grounds, Steven Seagal. Listen to this, guys.
I'd like to start out by saying thank you to all the brothers and sisters that have come here today representing this cause. I've been asked by Mr. Etok and the Tribal Council to speak to you and the members of the press about the injustice that's been brought against us by some government officials and big business. How many of you out there have heard of alternative engines? Engines that can run on anything from alcohol to garbage or water. Or carburetors that can get hundreds of miles to the gallon. Or electric or magnetic engines that can practically run forever. You don't know about them because if they were to come into use, they'd put the oil companies out of business. The concept of the internal combustion engine has been obsolete for over 50 years. But because of the oil cartels and corrupt government regulation, we and the rest of the world have been forced to use gasoline for over 100 years. Big business is primarily responsible for destroying the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the food we eat.
I just want to stop Steven Seagal right there. Magnets, okay? Magnets have already been proven to be more stronger and more successful engine than carbon combustion long time ago. Think about this for a fucking second, okay? Wrap your head around this just for a minute, okay? Think about what he just said. The idea of the combustion engine has been obsolete for over 50 years. That's true. There's been over 5,000 patents that have been seized by the government, right? That prove his theory is correct, okay? So wrap your head around this. The same people that lobby against magnetic engines and engines that would obviously produce more health, more energy, more sustainability than the combustion gasoline petrol engine, okay? These are the same bankers and lobbyists that lobby against environmentalism, telling all of us, okay, that we need to change our lifestyles because we're emitting too many carbon taxes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm no scientist here, but last time I checked, we're all carbon-based life forms, ain't we? You're a carbon-based life form. I'm a carbon-based life form, right? Everything around me is carbon-based life forms, right? What's so bad about carbon? Am I missing the point here? But think about what the fuck he just said, because that is a crucial moment in this conversation here, especially with people like Greta Thunberg, whatever the fuck you want to call her. She is being pushed by very, very wealthy people. The same wealthy people that she's being pushed by are the same people emitting these greenhouse gases into the environment as we're speaking. And they refuse to change their ways. Why? Because a law was passed in the late 90s by a good old president named Mr. Bill Clinton that allowed the companies, I think he's even going to talk about it, that they couldn't be taxed more, penalized to more than $250,000 a day. Now, if you're a really rich oil company or a petrol company or an energy company and you're ranking in like $10 million a day, then obviously paying the $250,000 fine and not fixing the problem and productivity goes through the roof, then I think you know what's going to happen. You're going to pay the fine and you're not going to give a shit about the environment because it's just good business. But these same people will push people like Gretta Thunberg in our faces trying to make us feel so bad about ourselves because we're hurting the environment and we're killing the planet. Bullshit. Because even if America does do what they want, even if America does stop eating meat and stop burning greenhouse gases, it doesn't mean that the other and don't get this twisted. There are more polluted factories than what's in America. Far more polluted. You look at what's going on in Iraq, Pakistan, Yemen, Lebanon. You look at what's going on in TEPCO, China. You look at what's going on in fucking Japan. These people are pumping out way more greenhouse emissions than America ever thought of. Ever thought of. But they have no problems pushing Greta Thunberg in our faces of Western civilization, saying, oh, we're just bad people because we're not doing our part. Bullshit.
Now I've been asked what we can do. I think we need a responsible body of destroy, only for the money they make in the process.
Sorry about
electric or magnetic engines that can practically run forever. You don't know about them because if they were to come into use, they put the oil companies out of business. The concept of the internal combustion engine has been obsolete for over 50 years. But because of the oil cartels and corrupt government regulation, we and the rest of the world have been forced to use gasoline for over 100 years. Big business is primarily responsible for destroying the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the food we eat. They have no cure for the world they destroy.
The water we drink has fluoride in it. And when fluoride is mixed with water, it creates a chemical called hexafluorosilicic acid, which is absolutely devastating to us. And it's in our drinking water. Genetically modified organisms and seedless vegetables have been created, amongst other things, among the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Okay? Genetically modified organisms, also known as GMOs. Roundup is also the weed killer that is used on these corn, and also tomato and onion and green pepper. A lot of these seeds, or vegetables, have been organically altered so they don't produce seeds. And on a long enough time scale, they will have enough of the vegetables that don't produce seeds, and they will distribute it to the farmers so that the farmers can only grow the type of food that they have locked in their seed vault. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Look up the seed vault, government seed vault. Go ahead. I don't give a fuck. Don't matter to me.
Only for the money they make in the process. How many oil spills can we endure? Millions and millions of gallons of oil are now destroying the ocean and the many forms of life it supports. Among these is plankton, which supplies 60 to 90% of the Earth's oxygen. It supports the entire...
Again, plankton. Such a serious fucking issue. Serious issue. Okay? Let me tell you something. Have you ever heard of atrazine? Probably not. Okay, atrazine. My job, the hospital that I work for, just literally had a meeting about this whole thing. Just had a meeting about this whole thing. Right? Saying that the drug buster that we pour down the drain in order to break up all the pills and things that end up in the sinks and whatnot, or running off into the drinking supply and actually causing in my neighborhood, and I live in Maine, okay? I'm not afraid to tell you, I don't give a fuck. I live in Maine, and just here, this isn't even California where the study was taken, okay? This is Maine. all the way on the other side of the goddamn fucking America. And my male bass here in my local neighborhood are laying female eggs because of the drug runoff that's going into the drinking waters and the rivers and the water supplies around me. That is not a fucking fact. Atrazine is not a joke. It literally is turning the fucking frogs gay. I know it's a big funny thing on the internet. Ha ha ha, Alex Jones. I'm sick of them putting chemicals in the water that turn the frickin' frogs gay. Well, you know what? It's not a joke. And the chemical that turns frogs asexual is called atrazine. It's not a joke, man. It's not a joke. And this shit is fucking real. And all of these different runoff chemicals are now doing exactly what Mr. Steven Seagal just said. It's killing the plankton, and the plankton runs off about 45% of marine biology. Are you even fucking figuring out the mathematics on that? 7 oceans, 45%. That's a lot of fish, dude. Think about it. Let's keep going.
A marine ecosystem which forms the basis of our planet's food supply. But the plankton is dying. I thought, well, let's go to some remote state or country, anywhere on Earth. But in doing a little research, I realized that these people broker toxic waste all over the world. They basically control the legislation, and in fact, they control the law. The law says no company can be fined over $25,000 a day. If a company's making $10 million a day by dumping lethal toxic...
$25,000 a day? Oh my God, I was way off. I thought it was $250,000 a day. $25,000 a day? For a company that's raking in $10 million a day? Oh my God, that's cheap change. Let's just keep dumping the barrels in the ocean and pay that fine. It's so much easier.
Waste into the ocean, it's only good business to continue doing this. They influence the media so that they can control our minds. They've made it a crime to speak out for ourselves, and if we do so, we're called conspiracy nuts and we're laughed at. We're angry because we're all being chemically and genetically damaged, and we don't even realize it. Unfortunately, this will affect our children. We go to work each day, and right under our noses, we see our car and the car in front of us spewing noxious and poisonous gases that are all cumulative poisons. These poisons kill us slowly, even when we see no effect. How many of us would have believed...
You know, it's just funny that he mentions cars, because how much gas emission did Gretta Thunberg fucking admit when she was flying around to these UN events to speak to these people? You know what I'm saying? That's the hypocrisy I can't stand. Is that the same people that are telling you that you need to change your life because you're fucking polluting too much are the same people that are polluting too much. It's crazy to me.
If we were told 20 years ago that on a certain day we wouldn't be able to see 50 feet in front of us, that we wouldn't be able to take a deep breath because the air would be a mass of poisonous gas, that we wouldn't be able to drink out of our faucets, that we'd have to buy water out of bottles. The most common and God-given rights have been taken away from us. Unfortunately, the reality of our lives is so grim nobody wants to hear it. Now I've been asked what we can do. I think we need a responsible body of people that can actually represent us rather than big business. This body of people must not allow the introduction of anything into our environment that is not absolutely...
We need a person that will represent us and not big business. My friends, let me introduce you to how Trump became president. That's right. We thought, as an American, right? Trippy, I don't know if you're in here, but listen to this part. What did that man just say? Let me back this up.
Actually represent us rather than big business. This body... Unfortunately, the reality of our lives is so grim nobody wants to hear it. Now I've been asked what we can do. I think we need a responsible body of people that can actually represent us rather than big business.
Okay. That's exactly how Trump got office. I don't know if you're following along. Okay, so the reality of the situation is so grim that no one wants to acknowledge it. You have to realize that this is a movie. The movie's called Deadly Grounds. The man speaking is Steven Seagal. It's from like a 1990s movie, okay? And here we are in 2019. And that speech is so fucking spot on right now. It's unbelievable. It's like it was just told. Yeah. I might have to tweet that out. I don't know. I have like fucking 2 followers on Twitter. I'm trying to get famous, Twitter famous. You know what I mean? Because freedom of speech is being attacked so bad right now that you can almost become an internet star if you know what you're doing. So let's back that up just a little bit and then play that
Body of people that can actually represent us rather than big business. This body of people must not allow the introduction of anything into our environment that is not absolutely biodegradable or able to be chemically neutralized upon production. And finally, as long as there's profit to be made from the polluting of our earth, companies and individuals will continue to do what they want. We have to force...
And that's exactly true. Because the only people that really get lectured in this shit is guys like you and me. That's it. Western civilizations, America, British, we're the ones being told that we're polluting too much. But yet, Pakistan, Lebanon, Turkey, trying to think of some other big factories that I've looked up in the past. China, obviously, that's the biggest. China alone is the biggest greenhouse emissions on Earth. On Earth! China is pumping out more pollution than any other country on Earth. Do you see Gretta Thunberg going to fucking China and telling them to knock it off? Hell no. No, she tells America to knock it off. America, as all of our countries are being sliced away from us. America, right? As we're on the brink of civil war. They're telling America that we're polluting too much. You're doing too much. And we need to implement a carbon tax because that's going to fix everything. It just, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse right now. And that dead horse is just getting all bruised up, These people, they piss me the fuck off. They're the same people that stood in line on South Dakota Pipeline. They're the same people that stood for all these other stupid ass claims of environmental saving that doesn't do a fucking thing. It just raises money for their political constituents, and then when you take pictures of these areas in which they held their events, they're absolutely destroyed. I have pictures of them on my phone right now. They're destroyed, completely destroyed. These environmentalists, these so-called world savers, leave more fucking trash on the ground than I've ever seen. But they'll lecture you about how you're polluting. It just makes me fucking sick, dude. You know what I do for a living? I sterilize shit. That's what I do for a living. I sterilize equipment. I sterilize rooms. I clean shit for a living. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to talk about non-pollution. I work for a hospital, for fuck's sake. You want to talk about pollution? Oh, man. It just pisses me off because that type of brainwashing actually works. To the point where I've actually had people comment on my social media today saying, "How dare you criticize a 16-year-old girl?" Well, listen, honey. When she forms an adult opinion and becomes a political activist, well, then she deserves criticization. Is that a word? Criticization? Is that a word? Anyways, her ideas deserve to be challenged. My ideas deserve to be challenged. If I'm brave enough to stand here with a microphone and a camera, and I'm telling you what I think, then I deserve to be challenged. So doesn't she. So doesn't anyone that is brave enough to walk into the political arena or walk into the public arena and spout your ideologies and spout your ideas. Ideologies and ideas are the same thing. I don't know why I just oxymoroned myself. But to spout your bullshit, then your bullshit deserves to be challenged. Anyways, that speech was from like a 1990s movie called Deadly Grounds with Steven Seagal. It's just crazy though, right? How that 1990s speech is like so fucking spot on to what's going on today. You know what I mean? It's pretty uncanny. It's like mind-boggling. So, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of mixed messages when people come in, like my boy Trippy Man right here. When he came in, he was like, yo, what's up with this Greta shit? And I was like, well, I'm glad you asked. Let me explain it to you. And once I got down to the brass tacks, I haven't even showed anyone. Say, Theos, how you like? Oh, masterpiece. Oh, mwah, 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 mwah. It's magnifique. Moi, how do you say with the je ne sais quoi? It's a mwah, 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 mwah. I fucking love it, dude. Seriously. My wife is probably aching for me to shut the fuck up and go play Borderlands right now, to be honest with you. I'm just getting this Greta shit off my chest, hon. Pisses me off. You know what pisses me off, right? Is the criticization. You can't criticize a 16-year-old girl. Well, fuck that.
Well, like you said, she wants to play in the big leagues with the adults, take the adult criticism.
Right. And you know what?
Go back to fucking parties and boys.
But I have a counter argument for that, honey.
I know.
You ready for this?
Yep.
AOC, mini AOC. Are you familiar with this person? She has a lot of followers on Twitter. Her name is Mini AOC. She's an 8-year-old girl that makes fun of the real AOC. And Twitter had to take down her account because of death threats. Oh, but how dare you criticize...
You can't criticize a 16-year-old,
how
but you
dare...
can send an 8-year-old death threats? Yeah,
how dare you criticize Greta Thunberg? Oh, I'm such a bigot, aren't I? Oh, I'm such a bigot. It's just sick, dude, how these political fucking climate activists that are big bank, big government hide behind Greta Thunberg. I guess that's where you know what? I just pinpointed it. That's where my true frustration lies.
They're using her as a shield.
She's the shield.
Yeah, because they don't want to.
And how dare you criticize a 16-year-old girl? I'm criticizing the idea, not the girl. Get it right. That's what pisses me off. That's what pisses, I think, a lot of people off. Because I'm such a mean person for criticizing a 16-year-old girl. How dare I? I'm so bad. Whatever, dude. Fucking snowflakes, man. 3 years of this shit we've been going through now. 2020's right around the corner. And aren't you fuckers gonna shit when Trump wins again? I'm not calling it. Don't count this as a prediction. I'm just saying, I am calling the hysteria right now, though. If Trump wins again, I tell you right now, people are going to lose their fucking minds. But you want to know who I'm looking at for a political party, whatever? Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, man, I think she's awesome. She's beautiful, she's Republican, and she's going to give Donald Trump a run for her money. As long as Google lets her. You know what, dude? You know what? You would think they would be happy with a Tulsi Gabbard. You would think that they would be happy as long as Trump doesn't win. But they're not. They're not. They want one of their constituents to win. That's why they're silencing Tulsi Gabbard. Isn't that ironic? You would think Trump bad. Orange man bad. Need him out of office. And are you aware that impeachment papers have been brought out against him? He is the 4th president in history that this has happened to. Are you aware of that, honey? Do you know who did it?
What? The impeachment thing?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Nazi Pelosi there?
It was!
Yep.
How'd you know that?
'Cause she's an evil bitch.
It was her. Sathios wanted to know how we're liking Borderlands 3.
Oh, I love it.
My reaction was,
Love it.
I gotta put some fucking... Put some music on, took a piss. What's going on, man? That's all I really had to bitch about. Ow! Well, what do you got, dude? I am a very excited person. I just do not know what the fuck you guys want most of the time. All you want is drama, and I'm just not a drama kind of guy. But I got tons of talent in other areas. No problem. It's not a drama dude. I could give a fuck less. I'll talk about world drama. I'll talk about world politics and geopolitical events. No problem. I don't give a fuck about playroom drama. I know probably everybody wants me to talk about how Raider Nation Sam is a pedophile, right? Because that's the hot topic on Playroom, isn't it? Tell me I'm wrong, Sathios. Raider Nation Sam's a pedophile. I heard him from his own mouth. That's the hot topic, right? That's what everybody wants to hear, right? And who knows if these comments are coming through. The comments could be dead as well. want to do. I'm about to play guitar or something. Fuck Greta Thunberg, that's how I feel. I don't see anybody challenging that ideology. I didn't think so. Most of these people don't even know who she is, I guarantee. World events. World events. They don't fucking interest most people, do they, nowadays? Did you know that we're pulling out of the European Union now?
Introducing the new intensity.
Yep.
Europe's getting fucked.
No, Union.
Oh, Union.
Yeah. We're pulling out of the European Union.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I want to hear this. One second. I'm not trying to hammer time you. Give me a second. I want to make sure I'm playing these last couple of beats because I need to learn them.
What are you doing? Oh my goodness.
The newest food obsession is toasted cheddar baked on the shell of a chalupa. Now tastefully curated with a flight of 2 crunchy tacos and a medium drink. The new...
nuts are fucking killing me.
There's a new food obsession sweeping the nation, and there's only
seriously on the night that I saved these bad boys. You know what I mean? Babe. Babe. Babe.
Royal Caribbean's Wow Sale is back. Get 50% off your second guest. And right now, kids sale free. But hurry, this limited time offer ends Sunday.
The Cardinals take on the D-backs today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Watch it for free. Just go to the
fuck happened there? Ah! We don't want that drum beat. Hold on. I thought I could have sworn I had it all set up already. Delay, yeah. Back that up.
What are you doing?
What the fuck?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, indeed. Oh, and another ad.
People ask me all the time,
That's what we wanted.
why do you coach? It's not about money or glory. It's not even about winning.
think so.
Can I try to nail that solo one more time, please? Is that okay with everybody?
This would be awkward if you were sharing these nachos with anyone but yourself. Nachos are now a meal with your choice of double the seasoned beef or slow-cooked shredded chicken, plus a medium drink. The $5 Grande Nachos box, only at Taco Bell.
Development now available on Netflix. Hey, we need to get this Netflix. I need to see all this indoctrination going on. What's going on with Trump? Impeachment, right? We'll see.
Prophetess of production.
Not that crazy at all. Especially when you know all the shit I know. I saw this coming a mile away.
Prophetess of productions.
Fucking love that part. problem, man. I got your back. Mr. Sykes Gaming, what's going on, bro? How you doing, man? I don't care. It's up to you. So they think they got him on this conversation that he had with the Ukrainian leader.
He's your clone.
Gemini made you from me.
He knows too much, Junior. He has to die.
What else is Gemini hiding?
if you're still here, Steve-O. Nazi Pelosi and the Shady Bunch think that they have enough evidence on Mr. Trump because of a conversation that he had with the Ukrainian leader. Good luck. It's one big fat nothing burger. I guarantee it is. Hell, I got the Ukrainian phone call on my phone. I don't think anything's going to happen, personally. This is only the 4th time this has ever happened in history, you know that? You want to know why I personally think that they're trying to impeach Trump right now? Think about it. What just happened a month ago? What just happened not even 3 weeks ago? What just happened? Can you remember? This is the 4th time. Trump is the 4th time. Can you remember? Why do you think they want to impeach Trump now? What happened 3 weeks ago that was really important that they want to bury in the news with all this talk of vaping death and all this talk of impeachment of Trump? What do you think that they are trying to hide? What do you think it was? I'll tell you, I have the answer. It happened 3 weeks ago. It was pretty goddamn important, and now no one's talking about it. It was as big as 9/11. Something happened 3 weeks ago that was really important. Mm. I'll let you in on a little secret. Come here. Could it be Epstein? The Epstein death? Is that possibly what they don't want us to talk about? Shh, quiet now, quiet now. Anyways, carry on. Hush, hush, hush. Don't say anything. Hush, hush. Carry on. Carry on. Let's talk about Greta. Let's talk about climate control. Let's talk about impeachment. Let's talk about it. He died. That boy dead. What about Ed Buck? That's another thing the media doesn't want to talk about right now is Ed Buck. A large donor that got caught with a bunch of fucking... I don't know what... I'd have to read the article again. My wife was the one that told me this one. But Ed Buck was caught with a bunch of dead people. He's a very large donor to these political constituents. Like the Clintons, like the Obamas, like, you know, most of the shady bunch. The shady bunch. The shady bunch. You got the Bidens. You got the Sanders. The shady bunch. The shady bunch. No, they're not blaming Trump for Epstein. What I'm saying is that they want to impeach Trump, so we're talking about Trump instead of talking about the death of Epstein and all of the people that are behind that, all the criminal people that Epstein could have pointed his finger at. Epstein, okay, now let me try to, I'm going to pretend for a second that I'm Trump, okay? Now, let me put you in this perspective. If I was Trump, okay, and I am trying to prove that these people are corrupt and that they are behind some of the largest crimes we've ever seen in human history, okay? But I can't seem to keep a key witness alive. What am I supposed to do, right? Every time I finger a guy and say this guy has dirt on these guys over here, I put him in jail. Next thing you know, he's fucking offed every time. If I can't keep people alive to testify against the criminals, how the fuck am I supposed to put anyone in jail? So let's talk about Greta. Let's talk about all this other shit that doesn't matter, really. You really want to get down to the criminal investigation, how our country's been sold out? So you're saying that the Epstein was killed on an inside job? Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. He suicided himself, remember? Even though the CCTV was shut off, even though the guards that were watching him weren't there, you know? Even though the sheets that he hung himself are the same sheets that are at my hospital, mind you. They're the same sheets that are at my hospital. The same suicide sheets that we give people at my hospital. I believe the official story. Forget about it. You should too. Don't question anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Trump is a great guy either. And if they impeach him, they impeach him. But let me tell you this. If they impeach him and replace him, then you're going to get Mike Pence. Okay? Mike Pence is worse. He's more evangelical than Trump. I don't know if people are thinking this whole thing through. It's like, bad man gone. Ooh, we did it. He's gone in a fucking less than a year anyways. Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter. What matters is that America came together and elected a man that said that can never be won. We proved to the tyrants that we still have a voice. That's what fucking matters. And I don't give a fuck who hates me over it. Doesn't matter to me. I know how I'm gonna go down in history. But I probably won't vote for Trump if Tulsi Gabbard makes it to the podium. Just so y'all know. I think Tulsi Gabbard is badass. I'm going to vote for her. Fuck you guys. I'm out of here.